Send me the money. Oh no. Oh, it's maths day again. Love maths. Oh, I can't wait for the maths day. Need to get changed. Okay. Hello, welcome to Maths Lesson 3. And today we're going to have a look at some times tables, in particular 2 times tables and 5 times tables. Right? You might learn something from this even if you know those times tables already. And those 2 times tables are going to help us further on down the track with some other times tables for multiplication. Okay, we're going to look at some properties of the times tables, and I'm assuming in this that you do know your 10 times tables and your 1 times tables. Okay, so let's have a look at the video.
Let's start with this question here. 2 times 3. Well, I want to start by thinking about what this looks like. Well, we could start by thinking this multiplication sign as meaning groups of. So you can see I need 2 groups of 3. So over here I'm going to draw my 2 groups. 1, 2, and I need to put 3 things in each. 3 and 3. So you can see that 2 times 3 is really just the same as saying 3 plus 3, which is one of my doubles. And I know 3 plus 3 equals 6, so 2 times 3 must equal 6. Now I'm just going to change that question slightly. Instead of having 2 times 3, I'm going to change it to 3 times 2. Now remember, this multiplication sign means groups of, so now I've got 3 groups of 2. So here are my 3 groups, 1, 2, and 3. And inside those groups I need 2. 2, 2, and 2. So from that you can see that 3 times 2 also equals 6. So you can see the order of these numbers, or factors, hasn't changed the answer. Here it was 2 groups of 3, and here it was 3 groups of 2. Let's have a look at some other questions. Well, you can see here I've written out all my 2 times tables, and over this side I've got a heading called doubles. So what I want to do here is write down the double that will help me answer my 2 times tables. Well, let's start with this one, 2 times 2. So that means I've got 2 groups of 2. So that must mean 2 plus 2. I know 2 plus 2 equals 4, so 2 times 2 must equal 4. Now we've done 2 times 3 already. We said that that was 2 groups of 3, and we already worked out that that was 6, so 2 times 3 equals 6. 2 times 4, or 2 groups of 4. That means I have a 4 plus another 4, which gives me 8. So 2 times 4 equals 8. 2 times 5, that means 2 groups of 5. So here I have my 5 and another 5. 5 plus 5 equals 10. So 2 times 5 equals 10. Next one is 2 times 6, which means 2 groups of 6. So here is my 6 plus another 6. I know that's 12. So 2 times 6 equals 12. So now I've gone through and I've filled out the answers to all our other 2 times tables. Well, they're all even numbers. Let's have a think about the important things to remember from this lesson. Well, we've learned that we can use our doubles to help us answer 2 times tables problems. We also learned that the order of these numbers, these factors, won't change the answer. And we also learnt that the answer to every number on your 2 times table is even. In this lesson, I'm learning my 5 times tables. Let's start by going down to our hundreds board and circling all the numbers that are on our 5 times tables. So we start at 5, 10,
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50.
Now we could go on further, but I'm stopping at 50 because 5 times 10 equals 50. So now that we've circled all our answers, you can probably spot a bit of a pattern here. All of the answers to our 5 times tables are either ending in 0, which you can see in this column here, they're all tidy numbers, or they're ending in a 5, which you can see in this column here. So when you're trying to work out the answer to your 5 times tables, you know it's either going to end in a 0 or a 5. Let's see if there's any other patterns that can help us with our 5 times tables. Well, you can see here I've got all my 10 times tables written out, and over here I've got all my 5 times tables written out. And what we're going to do is see if there's a pattern between these two sets of tables.
Well, I know 10 times 2 is 20, and 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30, and 5 times 3 is 15. 10 times 4 is 40, and 5 times 4 is 20.
Can you spot a pattern between the answer to your 10 times tables and the answer to your 5 times tables? Let's try a couple more.
10 times 5 is 50, and 5 times 5 is 25, and 10 times 6 is 60, and 5 times 6 is 30.
Well, hopefully you've spotted that the answer to your 5 times tables are half as big as the answer to your 10 times tables. Well, this might be a good point to stop the video and write out the rest of your 10 times tables and write out the rest of your 5 times tables and see if you can put in the answers. So hopefully your answers look like this. Now let's find out why the answers to our 5 times tables are half as big as the answers to our 10 times tables. Well, let's start with this question here. We'll do 10 times 4. And we know from our earlier lessons that 10 times 4 means I need 10 groups with 4 counters in each group. So I'm going to draw out my 10 groups now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And inside those groups I need my 4 counters. And if you added all of those up or used your multiplication, you'd know that 10 times 4 is 40. Now let's see what 5 times 4 looks like. 5 times 4. Well, we know 5 times 4 means 5 groups of 4. So if I come over here, that means it's half of the groups. Here are my 5 groups, and there's 4 in each of them. So if I only have half as many groups, my answer is going to be half as big. So instead of being 40, it's going to be 20. Let's have a think about the important things to remember from this lesson. Well, we learnt that the answer to our 5 times tables always ends in either a 0 or a 5. And we also learnt that the answers to our 5 times tables are half as big as the answers to our 10 times tables.
Right, I'm going to take a quick break now. See you soon. Hey Taylor, how are you?
Oh, hey Dad. What are you doing?
I'm just going to do some maths videos with the kids.
Oh, that sounds cool. Anything else?
No, not really.
Oh,
But, I'm just going to pop out for a sec, alright?
okay. Bye.
Oh, phew. Hey. What are you eating?
Nothing.
Are you eating something?
Oh, nothing.
Ooh, I reckon you are. Okay, right, so we have our examples here we're going to do. Now, instead of doing some numbered examples, well, I'm just going to get you to fill out a table of your 5 times table and your 10 times table. Now, we can see, and we learnt from the video, that your 5 times table are half of your 10 times table. So the 5 times is half of your 10 times, because we know that 5 is half of 10. So the groups of will be the same. So half of 35, 5 times 7, half of 35 will be half of 10 times 7, 70. Okay, so we're going to fill out the tables after the normal tables up to 10. So if we know that 10 times, we know that we add a 0 on so that we move the number up a place value. So if I've got 10 times 7, the answer is 70, because I've moved the 7 from the 1's place value up to the 10's, because there are 7 10's now. Okay, so you move the number back, or add a 0. So 10 times 11 is going to be, that's right, 11 with a 0 on the end, so 110. Okay, 10 times 12, yes, you got it, there's a 12 with a 0. 10 times 13, 13 with a 0, so 130. 10 times 14 is a 14 with a 0 on the end, that's right, 140. Okay, so I want you to fill the rest out until you get to 10 times 20. Alright, so you can fill up to there. And you're also going to fill out the 5 times table. So 5 times 11 will be half of 110. Okay. And we know that that's going to be 55. And we can also look at the answers here. The patterns are, we skip counting in 5s, aren't we? Okay, so you're going to finish off this table all the way up to 5 times 20. Okay, right, good luck with that. And make sure that you submit your work to Seesaw, take a photo of it, and put it on. And I will see you next time.